that is always the case here. Paul Ince, the Blackpool manager, is alongside me. He's been putting the players through their paces this morning. Paul, just a couple of days off the big kick-off. What have the players been up to exactly this morning?
Well, obviously they go through the normal routine of doing the warm-ups. They had a day off yesterday, so it's important that they have a good warm-up, maybe 30-35 minutes. Now we're just going to do a couple of phases of play. We're going to work, obviously, one offensively with attacking players with a view to Saturday. And then we've got Alex Ray doing the defensive phase of play with the defence regarding to what's going to happen on Saturday, and then we bring them all together and do 11v11.
And the goalkeepers seem to have been working exceptionally hard. Is that always the case?
Listen, keepers don't work hard, let me tell you that. You know, that goalkeepers unit, they do not work hard. But, yeah, I mean, obviously Gillo and Mark Halsey, we've got Tony Warner in now as a goalkeeping coach, and, you know, people don't think they do work hard, but they do work hard. I've got to say that.
And in terms of where you're at now, just 2 days away from the big start for you at Doncaster, are you happy where you are?
No, not at all. Far from it. I think, you know, I've said before, and I've said 2 weeks ago, we're actually on the bare bones. We've only got probably 12 or 13, first-team players at that moment of time. Me and the chairman obviously trying to work hard behind the scenes to bring more players in. We hope to have 1 or 2 in by tomorrow. Fingers crossed. And but we know the championship is so demanding. You know, 46, about 46 cup finals. Every game is like a cup final, and you need to have not just a decent 11, but strength and depth. By the way, this is my assistant. this is my assistant manager. Not finding the. This is what happens at Blackpool. So it's not like Man United. My assistant manager, pulling up the water pipe. So yeah. So as I said, we need strength and depth. It's a demanding season. We all know that. Everyone knows that. Every manager in the championship knows that. So we need to bring 8 or 9 players back in.
Importantly, you've held on to Tom Ince. Is that the case at the moment?
Well, he's over there. I can still see him at the moment, but how long that's going to be, who knows? I mean, fingers crossed, that'll be the case. The window doesn't shut till September the 2nd, so a lot can happen then. But he's happy. Obviously he went to Cardiff, declined the offer there. I think a little bit too. Just had a baby little girl also, so the timing probably wasn't right. But if you can keep him, it'll be a massive boost for us, because obviously losing Matty Phillips, with a broken arm 3 weeks ago, and he's out for 2-3 months. If we lost Thomas at the same time, it would have been disastrous. So at the moment, we've still got him.
You don't need to sell him, do you?
I don't really need to sell anybody. We need to bring people in. The last thing I want to do is start selling your best players. We need to bring very good players in. But, like anything, if the price is right, then anyone's sellable. We've seen that with Gareth Bale and people like that. The money's right. There's always a conversation to be had. But if we can keep hold of him, at least for another year, then I'll be happy.
You're live on Sky at the moment, Sky Sports News. You're live on Sky on Monday night at Preston. What a game that will be in the Capital Cup first round.
Massive. I mean, to be fair, it's one of those draws that you probably want later on in the Cup. Obviously with his first game of the season on Saturday at Doncaster, and to play a big, massive derby game on the Monday against Preston is quite demanding, for any team. So, yeah, but as much as it is, it's a great opportunity. It's a great game. The fans are looking up for it. Both sets of fans are looking forward to it, and so are we.
Is that problematic, playing 48 hours later?
Very much so. I think, as I said before, it's so demanding, the championship, and the first game takes it out of you, because you need to get back into that championship tempo of the way the games are being played. So to play that on Saturday, the lads are going to be drained, and then obviously to play a big, massive derby game away at Preston, it's not ideal for the players. But if we can get a good result on Saturday, then that will stand us in good stead for Monday.
Now, as a granddad, Paul, could you still put the boots on and turn out?
Young granddad, you get that right.
Are you enjoying that?
Yeah, listen, it's great. Obviously, to bring someone as beautiful as Harry Ray into the world, as my son is fantastic, and he's very content at the moment. My son, it gives him responsibility. The fact that someone's reliant on him and dependent on him, so he's taken it on board. And yeah, 45 is probably a bit too young to be a granddad, but when I look at it and I got my arms, it's a great feeling.
And you can still do a few keepy-uppies. There's just been a challenge from the Bury chairman to all the other chairmen from the 91 other league clubs to see who can do the most keepy-uppies. I'm sure if you were out there, you'd knock them for 6. But how would your chairman fare?
No, that's a good question. I think I'll have to answer. I think he'd do okay. I think he'd do better than most. But only one way to find out, isn't there?
There is indeed. I don't think that's Jim White coming in on his helicopter just behind Paul, as you can see. Jim White is on tour throughout the course of the day. He's done a number already and he'll be back for more later. We're going to leave Blackpool. Paul, thanks very much for your time today. We wish you the best of luck at Doncaster at the weekend. We don't need a helicopter for our next trip. We're heading up the road to Fleetwood, not too far away for us this time.
Right, we've already been to 3 clubs live this hour.